Hello friend, I am Naval. You are watching Code with Naval. Welcome to Java series part 83. In the last video we saw array list. In this video we are going to discuss about linked list. So let's first understand what is a linked list. Linked list is implemented the list interface. Internally it uses a double linked list to store the element. It can store duplicate value. It follow insertion order. This one is also not synchronized, same like a array list. It almost same like a array list, except this one is the linked list. Okay. For a manipulation compared to array list, it's a fast because here no required shifting. Earlier we saw array list and there we explain one example. If you have 1 lakh record and then if you want to update, if you want to add some element in a first or second index, then there we almost require a 1 lakh shifting. Okay, it's a take a very much time. 1 lakh shifting means every single shift take a every 10 shift take a 1 second, then also it will take around a 1 to 2 hours minimum. 1 2 hours it will take a minimum. Okay, and if you have 1 crore record, 10 crore record, then it's become a very difficult. It will give a result after 6 months, after 1 year. Okay, that's not good. So for manipulation, array list is not good for manipulation. This linked list is a better. Okay, linked list is a good for manipulation. Array list is a better for a sequential data store and iterate. Array list is a good for retrieval because array list implemented the random access. Array list and vector, only these two classes implemented a random access, and a random access means random access provide a better. Random access provide all element, whatever element you have in that list. If you have 1 crore, if you have a 10 crore record, no matter, it will give a same speed for accessing any element. Okay, that's why array list is the best for a retrieval operation, but array list is the worst choice for a update and remove in a between. Okay, then linked list is the better for a manipulation. Linked list is the best choice for a manipulation. Okay, list, we can simply create a list. You can see here list you can simply create a, this is a formula, this is an example list, linked list. Then we can create a generic or we can create a non-generic, depend on a requirement. Okay, so let's see this diagram. This diagram, you can see this diagram. Here we have a 4 element. Okay, first, second, third, fourth. Okay, and here each element connected to each other. You can see in between this element have a linked. Okay, this first element know which element store second element know which element store first. Okay, they know each other, but in an array list they don't know what element store in next. Okay, that's why they are, if you add any element, that's why they are required directly shifting. Let's consider, here we have 4 element and I want to add 1 element. Okay, 1 element after a. Okay, then it will simply add this a. It's this a pointing this b and this b pointing this a. Instead of this a pointing this b, this a point that new element. Okay, and that new element point this a, and this b point that new element, and this new element point this b. Okay, that's why here no required shifting. Here we simply bind address. Here if we add any element, then simply we connect here address. Here no required shifting. That's why linked list is the best for a manipulation, because here no required shifting. That's why it's a faster manipulation. If you update, if you in a linked list, if you have a 1 crore record, and if you try to update any record, if you try to update first index, if you try to update 100 index, no matter, it will update immediately. Okay, you can see in this diagram, this first node, second node, third node, first node connected with the next, and this next connected to the first, this second connected again next, this next connected to the previous, and last they also don't have any connection node for a next. Okay, so you can see here, simply we can understand here, each node connected to each other. Okay, that's why if we implement, if we manipulate any new element, any new node, then it will simply connect that node address. That's why here no required a shifting. That's why here linked list give a better performance for a manipulation. Okay, let's open Eclipse and I'll simply show you. I'll simply create one class. Let's create here class and I'll give class name part 83, and let's create here main method, and let's create a link list. Here we can create a generic or we can create a non-generic, depend on our requirement. There is no restriction. linked linked list. Okay, let's see how many constructor have a linked list. You can see here we have this linked list and linked list collection. There is only two constructor have. Okay, first one is a linked list and second one is a linked list collection. Okay, this first one not accept any element because this one is an empty constructor. Okay, okay, let's see, this one is an empty constructor. Okay, I'll simply store anything, a ll dot add. You can store any value a. Okay, then let's ll dot add. Here we store bb. Okay, then again ll dot add. Here again we store a. Okay, and let's print this ll dot. Okay, we can't directly, we can print object. Okay, system.out.println ll, and let's save, run this, and here you can see aa bb aa. Here insertion order preserve, and here duplicate are allowed. Okay, same like a array list, only difference here, this one is a linked list. This work based on a linked, and array list work on a index. Okay, this work on a linked. In a linked list, each node connected to each other address. Each node have a other node address. That's why if we add, if we manipulate any, if we update any record, if we add any record in between, then it will not take time. Okay, so but which one is better for a retrieval operation? Okay, let's see linked list. Okay, I'll simply show you. In a linked list, if you check a linked list, implemented only clonable and serializable. Okay, let's remember one thing, whatever collection classes, all collection classes by default implemented these two interface. All collection classes clonable and serializable. If you open any collection class, if you open any collection class, if you open an array list, if you open a linked list, if you open a any set has set, all classes implemented this clonable and serializable. Okay, but if you open, okay, I'll show. I'll simply open here array list. Let's see, and I'll directly open this. You can see this array list implemented a random access. Okay, if we open this random access, and here you can see there is no method inside of this random access. Okay, this random access provide a accessibility for any, we can retrieve any object, you can retrieve any object at us in a same speed. But this random access not, this linked list not implemented random access. That's why linked list not good for retrieval operation, linked list good for manipulation operation, array list good for a retrieval operation. Okay, let's remember, if you have a frequent, if you have a frequent operation retrieval, then you use a array list. If you have a frequent operation update or manipulation in between, then you can use a linked list. Okay, other than this array list and linked list almost same, only this one is the difference. Both are follow insertion order, both accept duplicate null value. Okay, so let's check few methods. Okay, is there any different method? You can see link, and these are okay. You can see size, add, remove, all this method. Okay, you can see this icon. This icon means this all method came from parent class or parent interface. Okay, you can see this icon, this little icon, this little arrow icon. That means this, if you see this icon, that means this all method came from parent class or parent interface. Okay, you can see this few methods don't have this node, this method don't. Okay, this method also have. Okay, you can see almost all method came from this, all this linked list all method came from parent class. Okay, so here we understand what is a linked list, what is the array list. In this video, that's it. We will see next topic in the next video. Till that, bye bye.